All right, getting back to work, finishing off building my screens here. Gotta get them done. Decided to expand this screen to make it a little bigger. So that's what I'm doing. I'm building my box base. That's a good word for it, box base. First things first, my name is Kenneth from my company is ILEG Technology Screens. Taco, this is not the time to do dumb stuff, please. You just always do something when I come on camera. Sitting there chilling and relaxing, I'll get up and figure something out. But no, I'll put you right in the hut. Alright, so we are building the base. We start on getting this thing done. Right now I had to turn my projector on the side to see exactly how big a screen we're going to get out of this one. This one's 235.1 and the one is actually 16.9 on this side. Start unbuilding my box base and then put my panels in one by one. Probably most likely for the floor, I'm going to get a yoga mat set up. Because again, Taco does run his claws into the mats we had on the floor and wreck them. So we're going to have, and that way I can bring up my floor when I want to and put it in the corner. He decides to get his claws stuck in the floor. I won't damage my, my mat. So we're going to put a lot of advertising into our black paint. That's what the advertising team's going to do for our product. At a more professional level. It's going to be nice. So I got to think of a campaign for it. Easy, I think I'm going to do it easy. Paint a TV light projection screen on your wall. Fast and easy. For business, sports, or home and business, for all applications. So, okay, get a business proposal set up and send it over. Literally forgot that I thought I'd go to the post office and literally forgot that I went to the post office and picked up what I needed. And start working on this project. Now, I like to document my stuff. If you watch, you watch. And if you don't, you don't. It doesn't make a difference to me. Because I'll tell you why. We already got what we needed. We're advertising companies coming in. So, yep. And I'm just doing it just documentation. The mashups are just advertising. For advertising our stuff. That's it. Now the mashups are everywhere. I got to activate my ABS Forms account today and get that done. Pretty soon I'll be able to use those professional commercials everywhere. T-shirts made. A couple of big orders coming through tomorrow. Order some more panels. Finish off my desk. Still debating whether or not I'm going to do a wall setup. I have to think about that. Because right now I got to concentrate what's important first. Get this stuff settled and done first. And then work on that wall setup. I will build a base around it. It would be cool to do something like that. It really would be. I think about that. Make sure I get all my projects first too. I don't want to overlap too much stuff. Well, we got a whole freaking game going on back there. Like clearly. Oh. Room for that. Put a whole freaking game back there. So I do want to bring the advertising team right back up to see. Or do live streams with them. On Zoom call so they can see some of the stuff we're doing up here. And I will be hiring them to do the advertising for our new front and rear screens. It's right there. Right there. Once in a while, I get a nice break. I get to roam out with family for a little bit and run around with their errands because, I call that my break time. I gotta come back to work. I built that screen yesterday. I already forgot to pick up the rollers. I gotta order 2 sets of rollers. I got online to order that. Alright. One wasn't built in a day, but at least it was built. So let me see. And now he's watching that screen. Weird. He's watching TV, now he's watching that screen. He's just watching everything now. Yeah, screen's all through here, buddy boy. Kids over here. Two more. Okay. So it's every 2 panels. Wait a minute. No. You shift the screen down. I got a shift technology on it. There we go. Oh, it's... Okay. That's the panel that's already coated. All I have to do now is just put the system together, lock all the panel in, and I'm done. That's it. So it's 2 panels. And so you already have 4 here. What happened much to do this? We got 4 panels here. It's 2 panels for each section. So we need about 6. So I'm only short 2 panels. That's it. I put the order in for that today. Get that done and get it over here. I'm going to finish this thing and it's done. Okie dokie. Alright, cool. That's not you, that's me. Check on something. This way we're short. Now we put here, it's definitely not going to fit. Now we put here, it's definitely not going to fit. That's not going to definitely. So we don't want the closest. So now we're on this side. I'm going to have to widen the screen. Definitely have to widen the screen. So with the panels, definitely have to widen the screen. Just have it overshot. An overshot. You're good. What you getting it for? You're getting it size for. That's all I'm doing. No, it's just whatever. It's always. Yeah, we may have to do 3 more. We have to do 3 more. I think I got them here already. Let me get the gun ready. I'm gonna take that one. Right here. Finish this thing up. Look at it. That's a good gun. Oh, kills and bills, kills and bills, kills and bills. Blue gun Ken. Let's see, hold on for a minute. While you buried stuff in it. I had a mess in here right now. So stuff, papers, everything all over the place. But yeah, this is how it's done. Gotta get it done. Alright, and we just got glue. Did that, got our glue back. Good. Alright, let's get this thing put together. So now I know this time, the mistake I made in the first screen is we didn't basically get those little corner joints in between, that little white cracks in between the screen, which was a pain in the neck to get between once we applied the surface. So we have to black out all those corners to get that done. So let's start pulling the base together. We can assemble the whole screen. We really have enough boxes. I didn't think we had enough. I had to pull some stuff out of boxes. But I need this thing done. Got a lot of progress done today, but still, I want to get this done. Let me see what I got on my charge on my phone. I should be good, right? Yeah, I'm good. Let me get this over here. Get the process of building this thing. I already got one screen over there already assembled, so I got to come in. I got to recoat that whole screen in cinematic black paint, and then go to my buddy's place and coat those surfaces over there with his paint cannon and bring them back over here. And then I have to send out a proposal to the advertising, and I got to update the website and some other stuff. Alright, that's it. Your hole, close up. You're going to start this mess all over again. And your hole, buddy, if you do this every time you do this, every time, if you do this any other time, when you choose to work this stuff, shop full of work, then you do this stuff. You're here all day, nothing. Then the minute I start getting on camera, here we go. Are you in your unit? Good. Stand here. Every single time. Every time. I told y'all. Every time. Every single time. He knows I'm busy. He knows I got a lot of work to do. He sees clutter and chaos all over the place. And he chooses to do stuff that he knows that I have to get up and go take care of it right away. So let's stay in there while we get work done. All the whole entire time he's sitting there, nothing. Alright, get this to heat up. That's already done. Our screen's actually going to be that wide. Alright, so here's the case. Here. Three of these. Okay. Let me see, maybe this way instead. So it's 4, 4. Done. And like I said, I had to figure out a way how to do this because it's told me before I don't want to touch the walls in any way whatsoever. Great. commercial and whatever this is. I don't want to touch the walls or anything. I'm going to leave everything the same way it was when I came here. So the box system works fantastic for that. I got to get back to watching some of the people I watch on YouTube. I'm really missing some of this van life. I like watching the van life. A couple of people I watched them in a while. Yeah, so new subscribers. So you got to deal with some of our drama. But unfortunately, yeah, people do dumb stuff, and thank God we're able to find them. Some of them are being visited by police as we speak, and well, they should have been visited by police a long time ago. They said they'd be out there within an hour and get it taken care of. But anyway, yeah, we had to do with some trolls that were carrying on and acting up, and we're blessed to be able to find them. So, I'm getting ready for court. Some are going to court, some are not going to court, some are going other places. But, yeah, happy to have them finally caught. So that's what it's all about right there. I mean, you couldn't do anything. The thing would have been to do is just make better paint. That's all. That would have been the thing to do. Try to make better paint to compete with us. But you know, if you got to sink to breaking the law and doing that kind of stuff at the end of the day, then it's horrible. It's pretty bad. It shows you have nothing. You don't have nothing left because you got to sink to those kind of tactics, and that just ends up badly. It does ends up badly. It does all the way around. It ends up badly. I told you I worked at a place where there were two restaurants side by side. They both make good food. But it's that jealousy thing, you know what I mean? Jealousy. Guy wanted me to dump a whole bunch of rats in their basement. So he can call basically license inspection, get their building shut down. I said, no, I'm not doing that. You crazy? You know that restaurant's not even there anymore? It's gone, it's a lot. The other one's still there. The other one's not there anymore. See, it doesn't pay to do bad stuff. It doesn't. You end up hurting yourself in the long run. I went outside today to take care of some business. I called myself coming in at 8 o'clock because 8 o'clock would be cooler than 12. Found out 12 o'clock it got cold outside. It got real cold outside. And then it rained and it got even colder. And I'm like, man, I should have just went out at 12 o'clock, which I thought 12 o'clock would be hotter. I'm glad that heat thing broke because, gee, it was a couple of really hot days. So we're gluing the base together. We're doing putting the base together on my wall. And once they're all glued, we turn them around and we re-glue them again all the way around. It just makes it easier. I had to figure out. It took me months to try to figure out how in the world do you set up screens in here. Because again, I don't want to touch the wall. Definitely not painting the wall. It's definitely not. It has wallpaper. There's a print to it. You definitely don't want to do that. And I'm thinking like, I can't go with motorized projection screens because I got to drill to the wall. Didn't want to do that. And I definitely didn't want a lot of furniture in here. Because again, if I got to move all that furniture. I hate moving. I moved like a couple of times. Like maybe 4 or 5 times I've moved. No, I've done it more than that. I've literally done it more than that. I hate moving so much. I hate it. You know, it's all fun and games when you first start off, but you do it a couple of times, you start hating it more and more. Every time you gotta move, you hate it even more. I don't know which worse, the packing part or the unpacking part. I don't know which one's worse. But I hate it. And then some people say, well, I'll hire somebody. Have you read the nightmares on people who've hired people? Like, entire trucks go missing, your furniture is gone. Nah, I don't trust anybody around myself anyway, so I'd rather do it myself. But it's back-breaking work. That's what it is. It's back-breaking work. Especially when you get to the very little bit of what's left in the truck. That's when your body is killing you. But you're determined to get it done no matter what. By the time you can move in and you got that stone hedge of boxes staring at you like, gee, I hate everything I have in here. I just need less stuff. And it gets to that point. You just want to have less stuff. And I packed all my equipment up. It's sitting in a storage area. It's going to stay in there. I'm never going in there to get anything out of there, ever. I don't want to see it. I'm just tired of it. And that's what it comes down to. So that cardboard furniture, man, it's lightweight, easy, the whole 9 yards, has no weight to it whatsoever. Nothing at all, period. I love it. And on top of that, I was going to spend $7,000 for a cloud sofa. They want to charge me $4,000 for an ottoman. So I can't believe it. I'm going to post that too. What the price was on for that freaking sofa. That thing was huge. But, man, you can build a cloud sofa. I've seen that. Watch YouTube people build their own cloud sofa. And one guy did it out of cardboard. That's where I got the idea from. Wasn't contacted, figured where he was at, and he had talked about it and everything. He was giving me pointers on how to put it together. Really not that hard to do. And so what about springs? Furniture doesn't have springs in it anymore. It's memory foam. Everything's memory foam now. You can go to Amazon, you can go to furniture stores, you can buy thick memory foam and do it yourself. Yep. Make your own furniture. There's a guy who basically on his Facebook channel shows people how to make luxury furniture. You couldn't tell one from the other. It's quite impressive. Quite impressive. You can make it the way you want to. You can go over to Amazon and pick up the ports that for your cell phones, even the ones to lay your cell phones on top of them to charge. The whole 9 yards, all kinds of. Run subwoofers in, everything. Speakers, all that good stuff. They do way too many commercials. Ooh, man, I like to have their own inside. Hooked it like this. That pink. Yeah, neon lights, peekaboo windows, all that stuff. No, my sofa's huge. It has no weight to it whatsoever. I got a memory foam system on it. That's probably about as thick as one of these boxes. I paid some money for it, but it was definitely worth it. Got neon lights in it, got peekaboo windows, put a built-in PC in it. I got cell phone docking stations. I even have a docking station for my VR system. Yeah, my sofa is hooked up. When I retire, I can enjoy it. I built it because, again, to be free of not being subjected to buying furniture, man, that's freedom right there. That is absolute freedom. People make their own furniture. You think people make their own furniture, buy furniture? No. Why would you do that? You basically make your own furniture. That's freedom. And people say, well, no, it's not the type of cardboard. You work on a shipping loading dock, you'll notice that you see those huge pallets, sheets of cardboard. Those things are about that freaking thick. You can't cut through that stuff with a pair of scissors. You have to go at it with a saw. It's very sturdy. Use a funnel system for support. It's amazing. Some of the stuff I've seen. Yep, they round off the corners and everything. It's amazing. I mean, people do some beautiful work. And one guy got rich off it. He made beds out of cardboard. He got rich. He's a rich guy. Out of cardboard. I'm gonna get one too. I'm gonna get one of those beds. All right, let me see. Oh, they're over there. Do we have one of these behind us? Oh, it's three. This would come by four. The four. The whole object is to become self-sufficient, to not depend on things. You need to do things yourself. That's what COVID taught you. When you went through COVID, COVID taught you how to be self-sufficient. When resources run low, you figure out a way how to survive. People figured out all kinds of interesting, a lot of people got rich in COVID. They figured out a lot of interesting ideas. They figured out there were talents that they had that they never thought they had. And they used those talents to make money. Even people who come out of jail and they sit there and say, I don't have a skill. You do have a skill. You have a skill of survival. Learning how to make that food the way you make it in there, it's worth money. It's worth money. You don't think it is. It is. It's worth money. If you made food, you made dishes and stuff out of next to nothing, it's worth money. They do things to ramen that, man, it's gourmet. You make money off of that. You can teach people how to make something out of nothing. Get paid for that. This is where man is at his best, because again, when you're left with very little resources and you have to make it work, you'd be surprised what you do. And that's what COVID taught a lot of people. It taught people how to survive on pretty much on when you didn't have enough, but you figured it out. People figured out new recipes and new remedies on how to fix this and fix that. People on YouTube showing people how to put this together, how to put that together. That's why I prefer to be in a situation where I don't have the comforts of home. I don't want it because it heightens my survival skills to figure out ways on how to get it done. I don't want to become lazy. So now I figured out how to build luxury furniture all out of cardboard. I'll never have to buy furniture ever again as long as I get it. No payments. No, I hate it when they give you credit. They give you all this credit and you get a short amount of time to pay it. Now I don't have to go through that crap anymore. Nope. All right. So being in here, and they didn't put me under the restrictions. I put myself under the restrictions. I gave myself a challenge how to figure out how to do it. Now I learned how to build a whole entire system using a panel system and cardboard, which is super cheap. One day, I'm going to construct a cardboard bathtub. We got that new formula we're working on. At the end of this year, we'd make it 1 year that those test surfaces were being soaked underwater. None of them are deteriorating. They're still structurally intact. Sorry about that. So there's another company that makes it, but I don't want to buy from them. I want to be to make my own. That's what I'm doing. Running those tests. Go back and check and see if any of the cardboard has deteriorated. They're actually submerged underwater. And the formula is holding quite well. So that'll allow me to venture out on a whole new different path of eco-friendly screens that are completely made of cardboard, completely weatherproof. One day, I'll make a cardboard sink. And people sit there and go, but that's not possible. Anything's possible. At one point, people drank out of glass containers, and somebody got the idea of putting milk in a cardboard container. which now you drink out of a cardboard box that holds milk. But I'm pretty sure when he brought that to the board meeting, like cardboard, so we're going to take it out of a glass container. I still don't know why. I got to look that up. Why did they switch over from glass containers to plastic? I think plastic was the biggest mistake ever. Because stuff in glass tastes so much better, it does. You can still find some products that are still in glass. Like, not to rank on Gen Z or anything, or period, but there's this kid that came on there, and he was just showing the difference between drinking out of a glass container, we would get something, versus plastic. It's so much better. You're late to the party, man. We knew that years ago when glass was in containers. You know how long glass has been in containers? Since you had the milkman. That's been a container. But you know, they feel they discovered something new. I'm like, no, buddy. You just haven't been around. In my era, everything was in glass. Soda was in glass. Everything was in glass. Everything was in glass. And then later on, plastic came along. And putting everything in plastic. And the food just tastes different because it's in chemicals. You know what happens when you have water bottles sitting out there in the sun is transferring light to a water bottle that's basically a container made out of chemical? You wonder why you whatever have a nasty bottle of water you taste it has a real strange taste to it. Yeah, there's no chemicals in there. We have a higher rate of cancer and all kinds of different illnesses of the body than we've had far back. It's packaging, not good. I guess it's cheaper. That's what it is. It's cheaper. But it's funny because they don't cut down on the price of food. Food keeps going up, but yet they put it in cheaper packaging. I want to go back to the beginning. I want to grow my own food. I'm going back to eating plant-based meat and all that stuff. Because every time I have a hamburger, I get sick. I get something, I feel sick. Anything processed makes me sick. I stop eating food out of a can. That's some scary stuff to eat food out of a metal can. I don't know what went on my feed on Facebook. There's a feed of all these weird. It's on Facebook. There's a bunch of weird medicines that they come out. People come up and say, "I'm a doctor and I work on with patients all the time. We got this new pill." Man, that's pharmaceutical companies figured out a new way of basically trying to sell test products. At the end of the day, that's pretty much what it is. And you got somebody say, "Oh, it's perfectly safe. I use it all the time." Yeah, if somebody dies from it, like Vioxx, that's a freaking nightmare. I never forget that as long as I live. The doctor advised to give me Vioxx one time. So no, it's safe. Yeah, doctors. Yeah, doctors do work from time to time, but I call them guinea pig testers. They always put you on some freaking new medicine they don't know anything about because some pharmaceutical company passed it down to them. And pretty much you are the guinea pig because they don't know much about it. They're just going by your side effects of what you get off of it. So Bob has side effects like headaches and nauseating and migraines. And then the next person who takes it, Jill, they said, "Well, I got a patient who takes it now, but his side effects were the same thing. He'll repeat to her, and then she'll have side effects that'll be different from him, and he'll just repeat both of those to somebody else, and that process keeps going on." Somebody dies from it or has a stroke from which Vioxx did. I remember when they gave me Vioxx, they put it in a little test box. They didn't have to give you a box. It doesn't come in a container, a regular container that medications comes in, and they hand it to you in a box. That's test right there. So pharmaceutical companies give it to doctors, And then doctors, first that surpasses the Food and Drug Administration, which actually, whatchamacallit, I forgot that wrong, I do apologize. But Vox did pass that, but Vox killed a bunch of people. And they'll say, heck, it's a new drug here, it's a test drug, it's experimental. It may work for your symptoms. If you're a doctor in the room, you're probably going to be ticked off what I'm about to say. And you'll say, you should try it, I mean, it's got good results from it, good results. Always ask for side effects, always. What's the long-term effect if I take this stuff? Am I going to become addicted to it? It's going to become damage to my liver? All kinds of stuff we get asked questions about. Well, it does cause some side effects, but very few people complained about it. How many is very few? You got to ask those questions at the end of the day. No, the Chinese, they don't take any of that stuff. You know that? I dated an Asian woman once. She really never took any form of pills. They have their own form of herbs and stuff that they use. Natural remedies that were here on the earth a long time ago before pharmaceutical companies figured out how to make these drugs and get rich off them. Yep. But yeah, that's why doctors don't like me too much. I question them all the time. So they gave me that box, and little box, and the doctor sat there and said to me, no, it's good. It'll help you out with the problems that you're having. It'll work just fine, Mr. Bird, trust me. And the Lord told me to put it in my bag. Don't touch it, put it in my bag. And that's what I did. I stuck it in my book bag, and I didn't touch it. And then 2 years later, people were dying from it. They were having heart attacks and strokes and stuff from it. I had a recall on it. Same box that I had in my backpack for the years. But it's the same thing that doctor advised to me. That's why I don't trust doctors. Every doctor who told me at the end of the day that I was going to have some kind of disease that's what jacked me up for life was wrong. God has the last say. So apparently the lung disease, the rare lung disease that I have in my chest right now, has paused. It just stopped. It froze itself. It's not no progress, nothing. It's there, but it's not going anywhere. It just stopped. Even when the doctors look at it, they said, it's nothing. It just stopped. It's like, it paused. And I haven't taken my inhalers. The one I have over there, maybe the Symbicort I may take from time to time. That's rare. I take that at the end of the day, maybe 3 times. Out of a year, maybe 3 times. That's pretty much it. The inhaler, I haven't taken that thing in 4 years. The prednisone, I came off it. I stopped using that stuff years ago. But then they go and they check my chest. I was like, so what's going on there? They said, nothing. It just paused. Got to put it on hold. So explain to a person who basically is supposed to be diagnosed with an extremely rare lung disease how they're doing 18,000 steps from here and there and lifting weights and push-ups and sit-ups and all that stuff. Yeah, it's not there anymore. It's there, but it's not active. God stopped it. And anybody puts stuff on you because they're going to charge your insurance up. They're going to make money off your insurance. No. Tell me the same thing every time I go in there. Oh, your white cells are a little low. And they've been telling me that for 15 years. Nothing's changed. Nothing's happened at all, period. Same thing. But in God's hands, as always. Never going to see again. You got this rare eye disease. Vision is 20/20 here, and it's actually increased by a ton. That's really good hearing. If one sense fails, the other one up. Gets a little more stronger. Hit by a car. Screws in my kneecap. Told I was never going to walk again. Started doing martial arts. Went back to playing hockey. Beat that. And I walk all over the place at that. Diagnosed me with a rare lung disease. And I forget, how the heck do I have a rare... All the lung diseases out there. And you think I had this? I still got a question now at the end of the day. What makes you think I have this? Or everything points to this? That's why I don't trust doctors at the end of the day. That's why I don't. I had this one doctor, he was a lung doctor. I couldn't stand him. He got on my nerves. Well, Mr. Bird, this is what you have. This is what you have. Question. Your diploma on your wall. What about it? How many boxes of cereal do I have to eat before I can obtain one of those? That's a mess with him all the time. He couldn't stand me. I didn't like him either. I wanted to go see him too for our checkup. So what's going on in there? We're going to come back and say we can't understand what's going on. What can't you understand? I thought you said in your progress report that by now I should be dead. What happened? Still alive? Is it moving? Is it progressing? Is it advancing? And I paused. That's the power of God right there. Yep. My lungs have never been more stronger. Every time I go to the doctors, I got to go for a checkup, do the breathing thing, my lungs are really, really strong. My oxygen intake is perfect. My heart is in amazing condition because, again, that's what I do all day. I like to work out all day. My heart's in very good condition. Shows I like to watch My 600-Pound Life. I like to watch people that are super overweight. I like to watch their success stories on how they conquered it. You know, some other dumb shows they had, like the 90 Day Fiance. That's the most dumb. It's entertaining. I'll give you that much. It's so entertaining. But I just don't understand it. I don't get the point how people can be so weak for affection that they're willing to basically wreck their lives with their emotions. Well, that's some freaking crazy stuff to go through at the end of the day. I don't know. I don't know how you people in relationships do it. I can't do it. I can't. I'm sorry, I can't do it. The arguments, man. Come on. Nobody, and not to be mean about people in relationships, but no relationship is 100% gold. Not one. Not one. You're going to have arguments and fights, and you will fight over the dumbest stuff, because I know I did it myself. Fight over the dumbest stuff. I literally was in a car with two friends of mine, and they got in a fight over a bottle of water. Bottle of water sparked an argument. And I'm like, wow. I'm sitting there watching this whole thing go down. I'm like, I'm so glad I got to do this anymore. I'm so glad. It's not worth it, man. It's really not worth it. I'm sorry, women, but at the end of the day, I don't care how gorgeous you look at the end of the day, how much money you make. I don't care about any of that. What you drive, I don't care. It's not worth the peace of mind. It's just not worth it. As you get older, for some men, they have shut their hands in the door too many times, and after a while, they're done. They're done. And you find basically what you call satisfaction within oneself, where basically you don't need the company of another to feel completed. You don't need it at all. You're your own person at the end of the day. You control your own kingdom. So all that emotional ties and ups and downs and jealousy and all that, yeah, who wants that stuff at the end of the day? And I get women all the time saying, well, don't you get lonely? No, I'm good. Look at the stuff I build on the I don't think it's possible that I could ever be bored. I don't think it's ever possible. Literally, I'm always working on something. Always. I'm not researching something. I like the fact that I'm not bothered. I love that. No one calls me, no female saying, hey, you want to go do something? You want to go out? No. I got females that call me, hey, how you doing? Da-da-da, how's your day going? Da-da-da, bye. That's the end of it. Maybe I go out to get something to eat. That's the end of it. I go home, they go home. That's the end of it. I like that freedom to do what I want to do. But not only that, the emotional attachment to that is stressful. I went through that in my last relationship. Was so freaking stressful. You could be having a great day, and they text you with something stupid. It could be male or female. It doesn't make a difference which side. And your entire day is wrecked because you're emotionally attached to that person. Unless you get into one of those relationships, and this is how some of you start off. You're in a relationship with somebody, and it's all bright-eyed, bushy-tail. That's what it is. I call it bright-eyed, bushy-tail. And then things start to go down south for some reason, somewhere or the other. And then you end up basically blocking off all your emotions so this person can't harm you anymore. You start building walls. So this person can't damage you. But technically, they still can damage you because you're emotionally attached to them. So if they were to separate and walk away from you, the world would crumble. And then you'd be in this deep, dark place. Food doesn't taste the same. Nothing. Everything changes. Your entire world completely goes into complete darkness until he or she basically comes in and says, hey, you know what? We can work this out. Then everything's all good. You know how crazy that is at the end of the day? At one point, you were in the darkest part of your life. And because they said one little word, now everything's all beautiful butterflies and unicorns. And oh, heck no. I don't want anybody having that much control over my emotions. No way in the world. Mm-mm. Nope. And if you're already in there, you're already in there. You're in there. It doesn't take long to get hooked in there. It really doesn't. Some people get hooked in 2 months. Some people get hooked in 3 months. Yep. You start missing that person, you're already hooked in. Now you got to take that road. And that road, man, is people think at the end of the day, they see these internet couples, and they think at the end of the day everything is all peaches and cream. No relationship is peaches and cream. That's virtually impossible. You're going to go through cheats. You're going to go through arguments. You're going to go through telling each other you hate each other, can't stand each other, doing petty things. No, I'm good. I don't want none of that bull crap. I'm good. It ain't worth it. It's not worth it. Some people, they're people are diehard romantics. They'll keep going out there, getting their heads caved in, and then you'll meet somebody. But even the person you meet and have kids with and marry, still it's not going to be 100% peaches and cream. No, you're going to have days where you're going to be ticked off each other, can't stand each other, don't call, don't speak to each other, argue freaking just about every freaking day. I don't want it. I'm good. See this environment? You know what I like about this environment? You go in there, you sit down, there's nobody in there but you. That's it. That's happiness right there. That's what I like. That's what I see in that picture. I don't see that picture with somebody with me in there at the end of the day. I see that picture with just me. That's it. That's what makes me happy. Just no one in my world. I like that. No one to control my emotions. That's too. I told myself, I get out of this 5-year relationship, I get myself back to being my own man at the end of the day, I'm never going back. Never ever. And I will never do it again. Not ever. Emotionally disattach myself from all that bull crap. Don't want it. And I watch couples argue all the time, scream, yell at each other, throw cell phones, all that nonsense. I just sit across the street and watch this with popcorn, just look at them. Oh, I'm glad I ain't gotta go through that bull no more. It's like a bipolar roller coaster. One minute you're hugging up on each other, telling you love each other, the next minute you're trying to kill each other. I'm like, nah, I don't want that crap. Nope. But you can't go anywhere. You're stuck. Because you're emotionally attached to that person. You rip away from this person, and you're going to go through some very serious pain. And you know you are. So you're emotionally stuck. Especially those who are stuck in the toxic relationships. They're the worst. Nah, I don't want it. So when I meet married couple today, oh wait, no. You're smiling in front of my face right now. Probably just had an argument 10 minutes ago about something stupid like a salt and pepper shake or something dumb at the end of the day. No. Marriage is even worse. If you marry that person at the end of the day, I hope it works out for you. I really do hope it works out for you. That's a very serious commitment. You know, you got people out there who tell you at the end of the day, don't get married, don't do this, don't do that. But here's the thing, at the end of the day, you still can't live with somebody, you still don't have to be married with them because that's fornication. Can't do that. It's a sin. So you're still going to have to marry. And hopefully find the right person. What the freak are you? You gotta die. Oh, you're a giant mosquito. I'm definitely gonna murder you. Where'd you go? Come back. Come on. I'm gonna kill you. Alright, let me pop up. I'm gonna flatten you behind. You're biting me. You're too big at the end of the day. I'm not open that door. Get that sucker out of here. That's a big mosquito. How the frick did that get in here? I have to put all the lights on it. Yeah, I get attracted. That's one definitely have to die. But here you're back again. All right, good. Got a second chance to murder you behind. Get over here. Hope you got a will, buddy. Trying to find the body. Hopefully I killed it. If not, it's going to go back to the light. We're drawing the light. If I did, he ain't happy. What's the most terrifying thing ever? Finding a spider on the wall or coming back and finding no spider on the wall. Finding no spider on the wall. But anyway, yeah. You know, everybody hits that point. Some people are still looking for love in all the wrong places. Looking for love in too many. Okay, sorry about that. But anyway, some people are just hopeless romantics. You know, they get on those dating apps and all that stuff, you know. I like the people contact me. I have a ball with these people at the end of the day. They'll contact me and say, hey, you know, I saw your profile and hopefully we can get together and be friends. Well, I have a ball with these people. I mess with them. Because I know what it is. Somebody catfishing. Doing some dumb stuff at the end of the day. Catfishing. People get caught up in catfishing and all that other bull crap at the end of the day. Some people are so desperate at the end of the day. They want attention that they'll look past all that craziness. I think I jacked him up. Taco finds he's going to eat them. Yeah. Now, some people have good relationships. Some people are very, very extremely lucky, especially in this time of era. Very lucky. You're still going to argue. That's not going. You can have a parent. You can have a couple at the end of the day that rarely argues, but they're still going to argue because there's no such thing as a relationship that actually works. Because somewhere along the line, somebody's going to jack it up. It depends on how much you're willing to forgive them for. I don't know how people forgive people for cheating. How do you do that? I don't know how. I don't even know how it's possible. Even if you're married in the day, we're not doing that in the day. Man, once you cheat on somebody, that's the end of it, man. That's the end of the relationship. We're done. You could never truly trust that person ever. The only reason why you won't detach from them at the end of the day, either you're too weak at the end of the day, you ain't man enough, or female's not got the heart to separate from them. You can't trust that person. That person laid down with another person at the end of the day. You can't trust them after that. If that person has a flat tire and they come to you and say, hey, I'm a little late because I had a flat tire, what are the chances of you believing that nonsense? You can't. So why put yourself through all that torment to begin with? Just cut it off and be done with it. I've seen friends of mine, and I got to cut you off at that point, where if you're in a relationship and it's toxic or cheated or whatever went on in there, I got to cut both of you off. I've got to ban both of you out of my life. I don't want your mess in my life. That's just crazy, man. Oh, that freaking drama. Nope. Once you do that crap, you out of my life for good. No second chances. How the freak was a second chance? Where'd that bug go to? Give me back up there. I definitely got it. Taco fine, he'll eat it. Yep. But we worked it out. No, you didn't. You didn't work it out. You just settle for whatever because you don't want to go through the freaking separation nonsense. That's what you don't want to go through. You'd rather go through that crap at the end of the day of never trusting that person fully than basically separate them and never see them ever again. Can't get used to that part. Because, you know, you're used to seeing that person every single day, right? Every single day. And you just can't imagine your life without them. Because people say, I can't live without you. Yes, you can. It's going to be a little painful at first, but you'll get past them. You won't even remember them anymore. Do you remember your first girlfriend? Or you sat there and made the statement at the end of the day, well, we can't live without each other, they'll kill me. You're still alive, right? Then guess what? Life moves on. You just don't want to go through the pain. Some people rather ignore and look past the cheating and carrying on and just deal with it. There's no way in the world we're doing that. I watched someone in my family. literally go through with somebody who was cheating on them. And they stayed married for an additional like 10 years. And that was 10 years of we don't like each other. When we go to see our kids recital, you sit at one side, I sit at the other side. I sleep in another room. That's not even marriage anymore. That's not, I don't know what that is at the end of the day. But you go through all that bull crap. Oh, there's no way in the world. Oh, heck no. We'll waste 10 years on that bull crap at the end of the day? No, no, no. We're cutting this off now. I got things I got to do. I got to live my life. No, I'm not doing that. I looked at her. I was like, what, you lost your mind? Separate from that nonsense. Well, you know, it's for the kids. The kids already know relationship is down the drain. They can tell if you got one part of your parents sitting over here and there. I'm pretty sure they can put two and two together. It ain't working out. Separate and move on. Ugh. Kids can see that. Kids ain't stupid at the end of the day. They can sit there and see at one point dad and mom used to hug each other all the time. And now dad's way over there, mom's over there. They don't hug it. They can pick up on that a mile away. Nobody. You're just wasting your life. You're miserable, upset, and that causes stress, causes gray hair, causes strokes and heart attacks and all that stuff. Why put yourself to that? You only get one life. Enjoy it. I can't wait to play video games on this thing. It's going to be huge. I have no idea what I'm playing on here, too, either. I might play some of my, what should we call it here? I miss my big screens. I put my other ones back in. But anyway, yeah, just move on and enjoy your life. I know it's going to be hard. I know it's going to be painful because some of y'all have been married to these people for a very long time and built entire relationships around them. But you got to do it. You got to move on. I wasn't married. I was in a relationship for 5 years. When that person cheated on me, I told them they had to leave. That's it. Or I don't care about the pain at the end of the day. I'd rather be in pain for 6 or 7 months than be dealing with some crap for a lifetime. So I cut them off and packed herself up, told them they had to go. That's it. Move on. Got things to do with my life. I kind of been going to that bull crap. But do I trust you? I trust you. But don't trust you, move on. No, it's time for that bull crap. No one. Ouch. No one. Do 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 do. Yep. Well, you know, you can't get that whole separation crap. So you know, you just deal with it. That's what they do. That's what they do. Like the Coldplay couple. Yeah, that's some jacked up stuff, ain't it, to find out that way? But she didn't play around with that nonsense. She was like, no divorce. I'm getting rid of you. We gotta go. Good for her. Take them to court, take everything from them. I took what deserved. You know what I would do if I were her? At the end of the day? Well, she can't really, technically can't do that, but it would be funny though. Get herself a new boyfriend or whatever, and do the same thing he did to her. But she can't really do that. Because technically, that's why marriage is very, very important that you get it right. Because once you divorce, you can't remarry. That's under Christian law. Death do you part. The only way you can marry is somebody dies. It's the only way you can get out of God's contract. God's contracts are very serious. I'll tell you one thing. I'm so glad. I remember asking that one to marry me, right? Asking her to marry me. We've been together for like 3 years, asking her to marry me. And she said she wasn't ready. I was so glad she said that. You have no idea. I know. I got some crazy videos. My videos, when I build, I talk about all kinds of stuff. It's what I do. I talk about everything when I do my builds. I talk about this, I talk about life, I talk about politics, I talk about outer space, I talk about all kinds of stuff when I build. I do. I'm a chatty catty. My builds are a little different than everybody else. In all my videos, I chatty catty, but I get stuff done. I build some crazy stuff. I may talk about some crazy stuff, but I do some crazy stuff. Get things done. I work. But anyway, yeah, that pretty much just goes on in my mind. I'm thinking. I'm an open person. I speak my mind. I speak my mind whether people are offended or not. I speak my mind. It's the kind of person I am. You know? This is the part I will never understand. And why I won't get married. Another reason why I won't get married ever. That somewhere in the relationship, I've never seen a man do this. And majority is mostly the women who do this. But I've never seen a man. If a man's doing it, he's definitely cheating on you. Or basically, he just, yeah, he don't have no interest in you anymore. He's definitely cheating on you. That's what's definitely going on. But that's how I feel at the end of the day. Maybe it's my day. It could be something else. But that's how I feel at the end of the day. But this is going to be a bit of a touchy topic. So I'm going to speak it. I don't understand how you get married and then all of a sudden sorry to say this, but it's true, the sexual part of the relationship goes dead, completely dead. And some women, I hate to say it this way, basically just completely cut that off completely. They cut that off completely, deprive the man, because I don't really hear about men doing that to women. Unless they find somebody else they're more attracted to you and they're dating them, that's the only way they may be cutting you off. Other than that, no. So they'll cut the man off completely. But yet they expect for him to be loyal. That part right there is like, and then if they go talk to another woman, they lose their freaking marbles. But you don't want to touch him. You don't want to be bothered with him. You always got a headache. It's this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. But if they go out and talk to another woman, then you just lose it. What the freak do you want at the end of the day? Like, you can't have both at the end of the day. So you don't want him to talk to other women. You don't want him to hook up the other women, but you want him to just go completely celibate and whatever nonsense at the end of the day you freaking cook up. You expect for them to basically just not touch you, not be attracted, whatever. What are they supposed to do? They're humans at the end of the day. At that particular point, when you start walking, you got to go. Bye. I ain't stressing out on no bullcrap like that. Bye-bye. And all here's in the day, well, you're insensitive, you don't understand my needs. I understand. I can understand you if you're going through a moment, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's you. But you're talking about for months on end? Are you kidding me? Like, nothing. I heard guys complain about this. Like, yeah, I can't even touch her. Man, if I touch her, she talks about this. I give her time and whatever. I'm starting to think she's cheating on me. See that stress bullcrap at the end of the day? There you go. This is why I'm alone and I stay to myself. This is why. That bullcrap that you have to go through at the end of the day. No. 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 And then in the world, I'm going through that stress. I hear my friends talk to me all the time about all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, what the freak? Like, wow, that's just some messed up stuff at the end of the day. How in the world does that even work? Like, at all, period. Now, some people don't have that issue at all. Some people don't even have that issue at all, period. They don't have it at all, period. Well, up into their freaking 80s, they're still hooking up. It is what it is. They just connected together. And then some people go through that whole thing at the end of the day where the woman loses her desire and whatever. But she feels that the man should be able to just maintain due to the fact that he should love her. Yeah, okay. I don't deal with that crap at the end of the day. But anyway, I'm celibate anyway, so I don't have to worry about that stuff. I don't think about that. No, we're not doing any of that, period. Anyway, I don't want to be caught up in that nonsense. Another reason why I'm staying celibate, because at the end of the day, the minute you hook up with somebody, you bring that nightmare into your life, whether it be male or female. Doesn't make a difference. You bring something into your life, they're going to be around you all the time. You get an intimate freaking moment with them. Of course they're going to be around in your life at the end of the day. You got a connection there. No, I'm good. I'm going to cut all that off, period. Whew, man. Gee whiz Louise. This is why I stayed in myself, in my bubble, and basically don't allow anybody in. Except for God and the cat. That's it. And my family. Other than that, no, freaking no. No. I say that, don't you get lonely? You don't want anybody in your life? No. 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 And I gotta deal with that bull crap, or the family's bull crap, or their friends' bull crap. Oh wait, no, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Actually, my ex, I actually got 5 of her friends, which I'm actually really good friends with. So I actually put my good came out of that. Yeah. I got her friends. Her friends apparently like me more. They like me more than her. She gave him an ultimatum. They were like, no, I'm not doing that. I like him. He's a cool dude. So I got her girlfriends. I'm actually good friends with all of them. And they tell her 2 of them don't like her. They can't stand her. Like they cut her off completely, don't like her. And the other one's actually her best friend. And me and her are really still cool at the end of the day. And she tells her nothing about me, which I love that the most. Yeah. And I don't get that whole thing about being friends with your exes. I don't do that. That's just a freaking headache at the end of the day. If they weren't even good enough to be in a relationship, what would I make you be a friend at the end of the day? I have no way in the world. People do that because they still want those people in their lives. That's why they still have them as friends. No, I cut you off. I can't tell you. There's a bit of a thing I say at the end of the day that once we separate, you see me, you don't know me. You walk right past me. I don't do that nonsense where you just come out of nowhere and might be with somebody like, hey, so and so. Yeah, I used to date him, so and so and so. No, when you see me, you will become a ghost. I don't exist to you at all, period. I don't contact you, don't communicate you. I cut off all communications. Everything's blocked from the door. All pictures are deleted. I move on. You don't exist anymore. I erase you completely out of my life. That's it. You're gone. Once I get through the process of erasing and eliminate you, I basically, anything around me that is tossed and thrown in the trash, and I rebuy everything all over again. That's why I did the entire place all over again. I threw all her stuff out in the trash, rebuilt new furniture, everything all over again. You are replaced. You don't exist anymore in my world. So don't call me. None of that whatsoever. Mind you, at the end of the day, I don't talk about it much, but it has little computer skills. So I'm going to leave it at that. Just put that on a nicer term. Don't contact me. You'll become a ghost. So it's another way of saying disappear. Leave me alone. That's why in the many, many years that I've been in a relationship, not one ex has ever reached out to contact me. Not one. I know keyboard magic. And a nice way of putting it, leave me be, and you don't become a ghost. That's all to it. That's how that works. So, never been bothered with, ever. I freaking love it. Yep, I've never bumped into an ex-girlfriend ever in my entire life. Ever. They've probably seen me, but go your own path at the end of the day. Now people say a ghost mean no. That's why I said computer magic. Those who understand computers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Those who don't, well, whatever. You figure it out. But anyway, yeah. We've got our panel built. See, I told you I'm in here talking and chatting in the day. I'm building stuff. I'm always building stuff. Every time I'm building stuff, I'm always building stuff. Bam! You think I'm just in here just chatting away, just doing nothing? I'm always building something, always. Well, you can't tell the difference between the cardboard box and the wall. I say kind of checked out. Where's the other part of this? I can't even see the two. What? That's Taco. Oh, that Taco's locked up. He'll be out in a few minutes. He's cool in here. Like he's just sitting back there waiting time. Just gabbling, not doing anything at all. Period. He's just not doing anything at all. What's Mr. Bird in there talking about? He's talking nothing. You know what's funny? I wanted to live under the ocean until I saw the 8.8 freaking earthquake under the ocean. Now I'll pass on that. I'll definitely pass on that now. I didn't think about that right there. I didn't think it's even possible to have something that powerful. You know, but I didn't think anything would occur like that. Like, gee whiz Louise. just curious. Can a bomb shelter survive that? Like, are bomb shelters actually waterproof? I wonder. Now I gotta look that up. I'm curious if they are. Are bomb shelters waterproof? Because if you have a tsunami, right? Going up on high grounds, you gotta escape a wave that may be 600, could be 1,000 feet high. That's a pretty big wave. That's a lot of power. The building wouldn't be able to withstand that type of hit. The bigger the wave, the more power you would have. It'll topple a building with no problem. So you're not going to escape it. The only way that you can fly away from it, that's pretty much it. But if you're in a bomb shelter, are they waterproof? Would they be able to survive that? Now I wouldn't want to be down when you're having an earthquake. That's a bad idea. But still, you should be curious about that one. Are they leak proof? Yeah, curious. Now I gotta look that up. And then on top of that, if you have a nuclear war, who the freak wants to survive that? You ever watch the movie Fallout, the show Fallout? No, I don't think I'm gonna live through that. I'm good. I'm just gonna get me a front row seat and watch the whole thing go down. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't smoke, but I'll have a cigar that day. I have a cigar, and I'll have some bourbon, and I'll sit there and watch that whole thing go down and go down with it. I ain't trying to survive that. Survive for what? What are you surviving? Whatever nightmare, whatever that radiation triggers off. I think it's Chernobyl. I keep getting mixed with the other one. Chernobyl, they talk about that the radiation there is still cooking over there. And some of the animals have become deformed. Because, of course, the radiation causes. So if these animals are deformed over there, and they're mating, and they're making other animals, good gracious, what the heck is down there waiting for you? But it's an unforbidden place. You can't be at anything. And yeah. And California is literally built on a fault line. Why? Who came up with that idea at the end of the day? Let's build a place called California on a fault line. I don't know why someone thought that was a good idea. In places you shouldn't be in. They talk about that California and San Francisco having the big one. San Francisco had one a long time ago. They had a big earthquake. One thing about active storms, they're known to repeat themselves. When you have something, an earthquake that powerful, it could trigger up other earthquakes. They said that the earthquake that Japan had was so powerful that it knocked the earth off its axles for a split second. Do you have any idea how powerful an earthquake like that would have to be to knock the very earth off its axle? And you imagine that 8.8 happened out in the ocean. You imagine if that thing was on land and it struck? We were spared. California was spared. No tsunamis came out of that. Warnings went off, or actually on the islands, an island closer by that got hit with these real serious waves. But there was nobody, and the islands are evacuated. But that had happened on land? Wow. And it shows you at the end of the day, God protects us. Well, you just imagine if a meteor about the size of Texas slams into the ocean, you know what that's going to cause. That's a global killer. That's definitely going to cause a massive freaking flood. You ain't escaping that one. What movie was that? I was watching some movie. It was called something. And yeah, this meteor hit the ocean, boy. And that freaking wave that came in, man, it was toppling buildings left and right. At one point, you could see the Statue of Liberty down there floating around underwater. No way to stop stuff like that. That's what I said. We could easily be destroyed. Easily. God could definitely easily take us out with no problem. We're on a planet right now that can literally self-destruct. Even if the moon, say the moon were just to pull out of its orbital pole, just a little bit to the left, we'd have catastrophic storms that would be unbelievable. The billions and billions of meteors that pass the Earth every single second of a day, and not one of them has slammed into a city the size of a bus. Not yet. Because you know why? We'll never have a nuclear war. It's not going to happen. The world's going to be destroyed by nuclear bombs. It'll never happen. People say this is the world's going to be destroyed by fire. Read Revelations. You'll figure out what that fire stands for. That fire is judgment. It stands for something. But it's not the type of fire you think at the end of the day. Because there's a lot of stuff that goes on in Revelations that basically are not human-like. It's biblical. Those creatures that are coming down here to torment man, that's not from it's not from our world. It's a different world, spiritual world. You did read about that, right? There are things that are going to be on this earth that are here to torment man, things that are unexplainable. You don't want to be here for that. Trust me. That sky cracks open and Jesus Christ comes down and sends it on that. Oh man, you're not ready for that. His people won't even be here. Those who have not died and who have not reached that plateau of seeing God, if they're here when Revelations hit, they're not here to call up in the rapture. They're not here. They're going. You wake up, you can't find your wife, you can't find your kids, so your wife is a saved person, you're not a saved person, and you can't find her anywhere, you can't find anybody anywhere, and people are missing. God came. And now he's going to come back for that judgment. And that judgment's going to be far worse you ever seen. It says in the Bible, it talks about how people pray and beg God for the mountains to come down on top of them and kill them. It is not good at all. Trust me. So, yeah, we're not going to have nuclear wars. We're not going to have that. We can have the most expensive, most advanced nuclear weapons on the face of the planet. None of them can be used. They'll never be used. And the reason why? Because God is saving us for judgment. That's why. Because what's in that book is going to happen. So, meteors can pass the Earth 100,000 times. There'll be no such thing as freaking alien craft coming to enslave mankind. None of that is ever going to happen. At all, period. Because we have already been chosen for how this world is going to be destroyed. That's how that's going to go down. So all these predicaments of World War III and all that, yeah, it's never going to happen. We could have had World War III a long time ago. We could have had that in the Cuban Missile Crisis. Man only has control of what he's allowed to have control of. That's basically about it. Man does not control the world. It's God's world. And that being the case, then he can't destroy something that's not his. It doesn't belong to him. Sometimes man has to be reminded. A simple heart attack would change and have you understand exactly how simple your life can be snuffed out by God. That's why I said the fact that we're still here and he hasn't broken his promises, what he has in that book. And God does not go back on his word and he doesn't lie. If he says that's how the world's going to be destroyed, then that's how the world's going to be destroyed. You know, some people are afraid to speak the truth because they're afraid of what other people think. That's what they're afraid of. They fear other people more than they fear God. I fear God more than I fear other people at the end of the day. You know what the rainbow represents? Now, gay community at the end of the day feel that the rainbow represents them. It does not represent you. It is a covenant between man and God when the earth was flooded. At one point, the earth, if you look at Old Testament, was mostly land. When God gave judgment to have the world destroyed, basically it became mostly water. So that rainbow that appeared over top Noah's ark was God's covenant between man and God, an agreement that the world would not be destroyed by water ever again, but next time by fire. So when you took that rainbow, you took something that didn't belong to you. Now, I got friends of mine that are gay, and yes, they are. And I tell them the same thing. Some get mad, and some say, well, hey, Ken, I'm going to respect your opinion. But it is what it is. Now, if you feel at the end of the day that you won't never do, I don't care at the end of the day. I serve God. Do you understand where I come from? You can't control. You can't take nothing from me at all. All that I have comes from Him. Mind you, the very breath that comes from your mouth right now, even your heartbeat comes from Him. So you don't even control that. So how can you take something that you never had to begin with? Everything on this world, you will not leave with it. It will stay here on this world. Your life will leave. That's the only thing that's leaving. Everything else will stay. So if you came here with nothing, you will leave with nothing. That's how it works. You can't take anything away. You can't. It's not yours to begin with to take anything away. It is what it is. And some people get mad at me about that. Like I had people get mad at me at the end of the day. So, well, he was a good person. He's going to hell. That's where he's going. Yeah, but how can you say that? Because it is. It's in the Bible. I'm not going to butter that up for you. I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, he's a good person at the end of the day. He's in heaven right now. No, no, no. It doesn't work that way. See, there you go. Overstepping your boundaries at the end of the day, thinking you're more powerful than God. It says what it says. No blemished sheep can enter the kingdom of heaven. If you have not picked up your cross, if you have not accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you are not going to heaven. You're going to hell. That's where you're going. People think of their good deeds and that, and they draw pictures of people sitting in heaven. No, it's not going to happen that way. If you weren't saved, you go to hell. That's how it works. And no, it's not a curse word. That's where it's definitely called a place called hell. But, God forbid, when your time comes, you explain it. You explain to God, oh God Almighty. You explain to Him how He's wrong. The person who controls your life at the end of the day. You choose to explain your time is to be here and not to be here. You explain that to Him. That should be an interesting conversation. I get people in the church. I watch them in the church and sit there and go, he was a good man. Man, drunk, fight, whatever. Did all kinds of stuff at the end of the day. Was the farthest thing from a Christian. Sit there and lie in God's church and sit there and say, well, I can see He's in heaven right now. I can see Him right now. You lied in God's church? Gee whiz, come on. Because they're afraid of what the people think. They're afraid at the end of the day that people are going to shun them, cast them out, whatever at the end of the day. So you're more worried about what they're going to think than what God's going to think. Yeah, that's going to go right quite well. Unbelievable. I feel sorry for those people that didn't pick up their cross. And I feel sorry for the world you're going to witness. In that next world, I feel sorry for you. You're going to realize that everything you did was wrong. And there's no way to get out of it. You chose your path. That's where you're going to stay. Do you understand the concept of it forever? Of course we don't. We don't understand the concept of forever. You know why? We die. That's why. There's no such thing as forever. We die. Even the technology, it breaks down. Everything breaks down and falls apart. That's why we have warranties for everything, because nothing is forever. Everything has a timeline of how long it's going to last on this planet. Everything on this planet is cursed to die or fall apart. That's what it is. Because the planet's cursed. Everything's cursed. At one point, we had immortality. Things last forever. But that's gone now. And you chose to put your investment here and in heaven. Heaven's and hell is a place of forever. But you chose to invest your time in a world that does not have forever. There's no guarantee. That's where you put your investment at. It's like stock. Would you put hundreds and thousands of dollars into a stock that has no guarantee to make you money? No guarantee to give you dividends. There's no guarantee at all. You would never do that. That's crazy. Wouldn't it? That's stupid. You lose all your money. You go broke. You don't know what could happen at the end of the day. But why would you put your investment in that? Now, if you had an investment that was a long-term effect, it showed good promise and all that, it showed a future, you would put your money in that because that would be the smart thing to do. A lot of you invested your time here on this earth. You didn't invest your time in heaven. And that's what it counts the most because that's where you're going to be there forever. You know, it's a shame. And what breaks my heart at the end of the day, when I look at some of these old stars back in the day, and I know a lot of them didn't carry the cross, it breaks my heart to know that these people are going to be sitting in that lake of fire burning forever. They're going to suffer forever. Just like my sister, just like my two nephews. They weren't Christians. It breaks my heart that they're going to be in that place. That they're going to suffer forever. That's why it does not pay to be a lazy Christian. Do not talk about the Lord. Do not warn people that these things are going to happen. That you need to go out there and save people and warn them that this is going to happen to them. Because it breaks our heart to know that a person dies and they'll never make it to the kingdom of heaven. They're going to be tormented forever. And that's why we talk about Jesus. That's why we try to get the word out. That's why I bring it up as much as I possibly can in my video demonstrations. Some people don't like to hear it, but you're going to have to hear it because this is going to happen. And if you don't get your act together, you're going to end up in a place of foreverness. You're going to be there forever. You will burn and be tormented forever. It never ends. You want that? So while you're still breathing on this planet, you have the option to change your life. And you don't. And your time comes up, because we're not meant to be here forever, then that's where you're going. To a place of forever. It's a scary thought, man. It's a really scary thought. It scares me every day when I think about it, but also I'm thankful that the Lord took the time to put me through what I had to go through in order to be saved. I could have been killed on so many levels out in the streets. It's not even funny the different levels I could have been murdered out there. It scares me sometimes when I think about it. Lord chased me. He caught me. I ain't going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. Nope. I'm going to stay close to God as close as I possibly can get. As close as I can. That's why when I saw that guy out there, devil was like, you can go out there and take care of that right now. I said, nope, I'm good. I played this game already before. Bye. Went in a different direction. The devil was out there speaking to me. He's oblivious. He doesn't even see you there. You're looking right at him. I'm not walking over there. I'm not doing anything at all. It's none of my business at the end of the day. I spoke my mind when I saw him, and that was the end of it. Now he's out there in his own little world at the end of the day. That's who he is. That's who he is, and leave it at that. And let God handle that. It's none of my business. The devil tries to start something that fast, that quick. Got to shut him down. Got our panel put up. Lord, what are we putting in next? I think we're putting in the whole panel. One of the sets of the panels at the bottom. So at least that'll be done. Man, when I was in the hospital, they had me in. Because I told you, my charges were crazy. They had me in CCP for a psychiatric evaluation because my charges were crazy. Like, they were crazy charges. But anyway, when I was over there, the devil came to me in dreams. So yeah, he came to me in dreams. He came to me in dreams, terrified the daylights out of me, man. There's one place I was at, I never forget. I never forget that dream, man. I was in the woods with my sister. My sister was a Christian woman, and I was in the woods when the devil was chasing us. I didn't see what he looked like, but I knew he was behind. He was chasing. He was close. He was running right behind us. And we was running. She's like, run, 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 run. And we're running, 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 running. And we just couldn't run no more. It was just too fast. And next year we got on our knees. We started praying. So put your head down. Don't pray. Don't look up. Don't ever look up. Don't look up. Don't look up. Look up. And I looked up. And man, I saw something that scared the living daylights out of me. So basically, I got up out of the bed. But what they saw when I got up out of the bed, I picked up my mattress and threw it in the hallway. Because you know that whole thing about if you're in the light, you feel like you're safe. But if you're in the dark, you're scared to death. Yeah, the hallway was well lit. And I was a level 5 at the time. So basically, level 5 had a little bit more privilege. So basically, I picked up that mattress, man. I threw that sucker right in the hallway and went to sleep. I woke up the next day. I had people standing like, what the freak? Why am I on the freaking hallway? Because I didn't remember anything of it. And they were like, yo, dude, you got up and picked up your mattress and threw it in the hallway and went to sleep. Grabbed my Bible and went to sleep. I woke up with my Bible between my chest. Yeah, devil will come in your sleep and mess with you. Yep. Or even bring people back that passed away. You'll see it. Yep, you got to get up and you got to pray. I got up out of a dream shaking and grabbed the Bible and hold it close to me and start praying. Yep. Ask the Lord to get it away, get it away, get it away, get it away. The Lord to come and it'll disappear. Okay, let's piece this out. Yeah. Got me thinking every turn. For you, my mind, you got me thinking every time. See, the hour has fun. You gotta stay out of trouble, buddy, boy. Something in the dirt sometimes. Maybe that's something in the dirt. Why do you think that's something in the dirt? Oh, wait a minute. We don't have to do the whole thing. I forgot about that. Oh, good. Sorry for that. That's right there. I just thought about something. The reason why we don't have to worry about because that formula we make has a bleed process. It bleeds through stuff. So yeah, we're good. Do 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 do. So we're good on this side. Bum, 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 bum. I'm gonna go with this. Enough of that, please. Yeah, gotta get your life with other people. Gotta find Jesus. Gotta find Jesus. Jesus. All is important. Nothing in this world important. Now, for those people saying, well, you know, you gotta get married. Yeah, you gotta get married. You gotta work on it. You gotta work on those relationships, but you're gonna have to find somebody that's Christian. And make sure you don't be unequally yoked. You can't be Christian and marry somebody of the world. It don't work that way. Marry somebody else and constant arguing. Yeah, you never see eye to eye. Nope, we arguing all the time. That's one of the other problems I have. Because the female I dated, she was Catholic. That was not working out, trust me. Because we're unequally yoked. We had two different types of beliefs. So that became another problem. Got me thinking every time. What? Let go. Thomas. Thomas. Let go. weird, ain't it? It's like putting together like a puzzle. That's how the panels are going to be. Just like that, already pre-coated. You stick them on and boom, that's it. Imagine building your projection screen like that. It's going to be pretty cool. Yep, so we're only missing 2. That's it. I'll put the order in for the 2. Then I'll finish it. These are already pre-coated. This is the cinematic technology on there. Yep. So you've got 2 different versions of it. One basically is already coated the panels, so you can just stick it up there when you're done and hook it up. The other one is the paint. It looks like it. The panel versions will be available next week. We're going to get ready to set those up. So how bright they are, so you can see all the furniture and everything comes to life much more realistic than that other surface. That's the whole purpose of that technology. You're on a 720p $50 projector. You're using your something that we said like a crystal projector. That's it. Nico mode. I was a lazy Christian. I was afraid to talk to people about Jesus. How am I going to tell people about the good word of God? I'm afraid to talk to them about the good word of God. Let them know. I gotta warn them. You know, a long time ago, there was a fellow by the name of Harold Canteen. Family Radio. Oh, there's a good station, by the way, but Harold Canteen used to be the co-founder and president of that station. And somewhere along the line, people get to studying too much, and they start putting their own 2 cents into the Bible, which you're not supposed to do that. And he became twisted in the Bible and started coming up with predictions of when the world was going to end. You remember this guy? Yeah. So, he did this back in 1989, a long time ago, with the prediction. And it didn't go through the way he thought he was going to go through. And he said that basically he counted and calculated things wrong. And he started again. It was May of 2021. Anyone ever lived through that one? I did. So he had this whole thing on family radio. And this man was dangerous because he had multiple radio stations all over the world where he was preaching this, where he said he knew when God was coming back. And there were preachers from all over the world contacting him saying, no, you can't make that statement because no one knows God's going to come back. The angels in heaven don't even know. So if the very elect angels in heaven don't know when God's going to come back, man is definitely not going to know. If you knew when Jesus was coming back, say Jesus was coming back tomorrow, right? You could go out and commit all the crimes and everything you wanted to do and then hurry and get saved real fast so Jesus can accept you so you can go to heaven. No, it doesn't work that way. The reason why you don't know when God's going to come back is so that basically that you don't have the ability to be able to sin and carry on all you want and basically get saved all of a sudden. No, you don't make it. You don't make it. That's how that works. Which means you have to be sincere about basically wanting to be a Christian. You can't fake that one. People be faking it all day long if they knew when God was coming back. So this guy got out there, and there's consequences for this stuff. There's very serious consequences for leading people down the wrong path. Mr. Williams, being a fake prophet, very serious consequences for that. Because now you're doing the devil's work, but you're basically leading people down the wrong path. It's kind of like the blind leading the blind, as Jesus said. First, you must remove the plank from your eye before you can actually lead someone else, before you can remove the plank out of their eye. How are you going to see clearly if you're blind yourself? The blind leading the blind. So anyway, yeah, he got up there and he preached all this stuff, and he had this date that Lord, there was going to be a great earthquake, and the Lord was going to be destroyed, and the world was going to be destroyed, and all this stuff was going to happen. So these people started following. They started believing in this stuff. And they were giving up their money and donations and all this stuff. One guy, even over in New York City, spent $600,000 to put these billboards up. They believed that God was coming back. So, these people over in California, because he was based over in California, the people over in California, you can still watch the videos on there, the people in California were all lined up. They're all together, bunched up together, waiting for God to come back. Some of them brought blow-up dolls. They brought all kinds of stuff, toothbrushes. And one guy said he can brush his teeth and keep his teeth clean on the way that when the Lord is taking him back. Oh, God, it's so messed up. It's just so messed up. And you know what else was in the crowd? Atheists were in the crowd. Devil worshippers were in the crowd. They would have never been in there to begin with. Because when the Lord brings up his own people in the rapture, those people would be left behind. They wouldn't even know that their people are gone. They would never know that. Poof, they'd be just going, just like that. So they would never be in the group with them ever. Not ever. When the Lord calls them up. It says something about separating the wheat from something that says in the Bible, but basically how they separate who's who and they take who's worthy. But anyway, so he got into talking about all this stuff, and long story short, when the day came up, I'll never forget that day. I went and I got myself a root beer and a bag of barbecue chips and went home and watched a movie. And he claimed the world was going to end, the world was going to be destroyed. All these people were terrified, thinking this was actually going to happen. And nothing happened. They did the countdown, and nothing happened. So they decided to do the countdown again and jump this time because maybe they missed it. Oh, it's such a shame. Such a shame for people to be twisted and brought down the wrong path because a man got crooked with the Bible and didn't understand and decided to put his own 2 cents, and he led all those people down the wrong path. Now, before that happened, these people were in the crowd. Atheists, worshippers were in there, the wrong types, and they were challenging these people, saying, hey, well, look, if you feel God's coming back, and you believe that 100%, how about you sign over the deed to your home? And a lot of the people signed over the deed of their home. There's one guy walking around with a whole bunch of keys. He took their property from them. This is what happens when you basically follow false prophets at the end of the day. You yourself gets punished for that. They lost their homes. They lost everything. Some people lost banking accounts, and they gave a routing number because they figured they're not going to need it anyway. So then what happened was when God didn't come as they thought he was, all these people were sitting there depressed. Because they realized they messed their lives up. They lost everything. Everything, because these people took it from them. They lost everything. But the good thing about that was they were true Christians in that group. They were helping these people get back on their feet. Helping them to find a place to live. Helping them get jobs. And let them know that the real Lord, the one that basically loves them, not this man at the end of the day wanted to think he was some kind of great prophet. He forgives you for your sins, and he is here to take care of you and get you back on your feet. And take all those damaged Christians and turn them into true Christian warriors, which they should be. And that's what they did. They came to help them out. Because God's there for you. Got your back. You're sending people to have your back. There's one guy did a video said, these people are living in my house. My house. But I lost my house because I gave it to them because I thought what Harold Kenton was saying, that the Lord was going to come back. But see, that's the reason why you got to read your Bible. That's the reason why you can't believe him. When a preacher's at the church talking at the end of the day, I don't believe what he's saying. I mean, I understand the certain he's saying, but if something there don't sound right, that's why you got to know your Bible, read your Bible, know your Bible. Because you got to understand when people are reading something crooked or saying something crooked, you got to be to go in there and check that. People that are over infatuated with their preachers and say, oh, brother so and so and so, and brother so and so and so. You worshiping the man. He's a vessel of God. You're worshiping the man at the end of the day. So if he says something incorrectly, some people won't challenge him because they don't want to challenge him because, they worship him. I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to go in the Bible and say no. And if you don't like what I say, you want to kick me out of church, you kick me out of church. I don't want to be there anyway. That's how I feel. I'm going to challenge you. Because it says right in the Bible what it is, what it is. God wrote it in there. You're going to tell me something different? That's what I don't like about that. So basically, he disappeared for a while. Of course he did. And they got him finally. Newscasters got him in a meeting, had to talk to him and everything. And now he says that he made a mistake. He felt that God felt that man would not be able to withstand his punishment, so he held off. No. No. See what I mean? But now he came up with another date, which was supposed to be October the 21st. Now, this man's voice caused a lot of damage. He had a stroke. He lost his ability to speak. And then later on, he passed off this earth. Yeah, a lot of trouble. He did all those people down the wrong path. He had radio stations all over the world. That's why you got to be careful. You got to read your book. Don't get in there and start worshiping the man. Oh, you have a fantastic servant, so-and-so and so, blah, 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 so-and-so and so. If you're talking too much about that preacher, you're talking too much about that preacher. I seen one preacher, they got their face, the woman and man got their face on a banner draped over the side of a church. That's not your house at the end. That's God's house. You are a servant. That's what you are. You have to know your place at the end of the day. These preachers want to act like at the end of the day, like they got power. You don't have any of that at all, period. You're a servant. You understand the point of a servant? And people getting there talking about, oh, Reverend this and Reverend that, and Reverend this and Reverend that. Oh, my goodness. And the Reverend should be sitting there saying, no. Don't give me that type of praise. That goes to Jesus and Jesus only. I'm just a servant. That's all that I am. Yep, I'm going to throw that self-praise. I want me to go. Can't be in that church no more. I don't want to be in that church. God's not in that church. And if God's not in that church, something else is in that church. God's presence not in that church. Guess who's in that church? The devil himself's going to be in there. So God in there. He's going to come in there. The corruption, stealing, robbing, cheating, preachers sleeping with other men's women and all that stuff, the devil's in there. People go on TikTok with that nonsense. Hey, these girls dancing, provocative dance in the church. And these skimpy outfits. And they're doing these dances. No Sinead, no dances and that in church. They have no fear of God. I don't fear it. Williams stole from God. Williams is not even a man of God. You can see the stuff he does. Not even close to it. Whatever's in the dark comes out in the light. They be exposed to what they are. Williams, you consider everything I'm saying at the end of the day because I'm mad at you. I'm not mad at you today. I feel sorry for you because the things that you do, man, you're on a path of self-destruction. And here you are, call yourself up a nerd on your YouTube page by saying that you're helping people to find Christ, to have Jesus Christ in their life, and you're sending pictures of yourself half naked through the postal service, especially at my sister's place that got kids. You're talking about Jesus Christ approves of. Williams in the worst place in all of them. Because Williams at the end of the day, claimed to be a minister. A man of God, and he was not that. Very dangerous. Leading people down the wrong path is very dangerous. You'll fear God. You know, he doesn't have to fear God. Maybe on his Facebook page, and everything he put on, he posted, there were links constantly posted over and over again about him being a preacher. Asking for money. Asking for donations. He even did this promo video. I'm putting his name up in these kind of razzle-dazzle displays of abstract. Showing these flashes of, he's a minister of God, I'm a minister of God, so-and-so, donate money, donate money, donate money, donate money. You stole from God. Imagine how angry Jesus is. Jesus, a man is not a violence, he's not. Was so angry that he picked up a stick and he beat these people out of a church because they were stealing from his father. And you stole from God. Jamie had a habit of doing dirty things and right at the bottom instead of God bless. Mocking God. Do something evil and put God bless at the end. You know how tainted that is at the end of the day? At the end of the day of it all, these people are going to call on God, I guarantee you. In those situations they're going to be in, they're going to call on God. I hope he hears you. I really do. They're about to live what I went through when I was 16. They're going to go through the same. I'm actually much worse. Because they're 16. I called on God. In that prison cell, I called on him. One of the time I was out there denying him and calling him cults and all that stuff and saying God this and God that. Now I'm in a prison cell calling on God, asking for help, pleading for help. I don't know what to do in that situation. I'm 16 years old and I'm in a cell. I got no more freedom. I'm in a cell. I'm locked away. I don't even know what my future's going to be. What's going to happen to me? Am I going to die? Am I going to kill? What's going to happen? I don't know. I'm scared. And I'm screaming out to God, asking him to help me. Please help me. And sure enough, my mom pops up. That Bible. That Bible is what changed my life. So wait, is this the whole thing about the... Oh, it does pick up the whole thing. Okay, cool. Sometimes we're in video. The screen seems a little larger, but it does pick up everything. Alright, is it in the bottom? Cool, I can see it all. Cool. That's why I put it over, too big. It might be too big, it might overlap my screen, but actually fits perfectly. That's why they know. See, without that technology, pick up. I love it. I love it. So now, I gotta build me a little thing at the top. I want to put my LED lights up there at the top. I'm going to put a stand from there. We got lights up the row lights from here to here. Because I want my halo system to come on like a fish tank. Look at this. freaking cool. Panels are awesome. I'm gonna do an all white surface. I'm gonna put the panels in different directions and have the projector on the panels pull up. That's something pretty cool. I'm gonna do some 3/4 panels. I think I'm gonna put them up next week. I think they come in packs of, let's see, we have them in packs of 2, 4, and I think the biggest one we have is 8. That's the biggest one we have, 8. Alright, let's see. I'll turn up in here a little bit. That's all we know. That is watermelon spray. Usually if you buy the cheap ones, they stink. But man, that one that smells amazing. For $1, that spray smells amazing. The first time I sprayed that watermelon, oh man, it smells so good. I got the, sometimes you gotta be careful about your combinations and your fresheners in the room, because you can get a wrong freaking blend and it can smell like a freaking tire fire. But I got the honeysuckle in the wall and the watermelon spray. Oh my goodness, those two combined together are freaking heavily. All right. I'm gonna do that. 2 more screens of that. Coat that. 2 more screens, put them in. I'm done. Put a nice little halo system over top. I'm doing a white light system over top of it for my fish tank. Start on that tomorrow. And I can go finish for my buddy's place and spray my screens in. And that way I can have that ready to set my screens in. I gotta get that one done. That's gonna be all painted up. That one is set up because I do want my invisible set up. I'm gonna make it so I might Velcro it, clear Velcro it, because I want to be able to get in and out of that case and put other stuff in there. Might want to change it out to something different. Here we know. This needs to be awesome for gaming. Get the RGB cables. Fans, that's done. Ooh-wee. What's up with that? What's up with that? He said, she said, he said. What's up with that? I said, what's Well, I gotta get in here and bust down my drawers. My drawers are so got so much clutter in there. Gotta get in there and get all that rearranged. Do that tomorrow. Bust all that down. Together. I've been watching Close Encounter of the Third Kind. That's my favorite movie of all times. My #1 movie. Close Encounter. All-time favorite. It's Close Encounter of the Third Kind. My favorite. Alright, that's all cleaned up. This all bunch it down. Over here, so I got it. Let me see. Anything else we need to do while we're here? What's a mess?
Your bed's nice and folded.
Well, it's a cloud system. Putting the cloud system in soon. We got plenty of glue for that. Let me see. Where is the adapter for your charger from? It's going somewhere. That's not that. Charger right. It's right there. There. You're missing the charger. Oh, right there on my phone. So. Frank, you come up now. Keep your butt out of trouble. Here you go. Keep it out of trouble, buddy. So glad all that's done. And I mean it, keep it out of trouble. Give me that look. I've dust all that down. Have to clean up and bust it down. Let me get my sneaks on, take this trash out. Gotta be at the garage tomorrow with these people. Called them ahead of time, so I need to use the shop for a minute. They got blasted me down a couple of screens and get this thing done. Actually, we're doing 3 screens at the same time. We're doing this one, that one, and the arcade one over here all at the same time. That's fun. And this stuff is easy to put in. I do like these Pumas. They're nice. Let's see. This is all the trash done. Man. Look at that. Hell filthy. Oh, and I gotta put your rope system together, so I gotta work on that next. Do we know? Okay, yeah. All right. Meow. Meows. Meows. Taco Maui. Maui, Taco Maui. Yeah, first nice and clean. Come on, get out of the path. Put on slow. Move your butt out of the way, man. Get in the time, cha across the floor. reinforce that case tomorrow. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do that now. We might as well get it done while we're here. Let's get that done. Reinforce that one. Don't have to worry about that, so it's gotta be finished. Get that done. And just destruction. Oh, destruction of taco. Mm. Right, taco. Oh, they staple these in. Let me my scissors.
Where is it? We just have it. Just wait a second.
Man, are you kidding me? We just had those things. We literally just had scissors on us. How do we do scissors that fast and get that scissors? There we go. I gotta get me a utility and put everything in there. Oh man, I think I'm allergic to this stuff, man. This looks like my nose freaking. Ooh. Definitely got my allergies kicking. Gathering up the heavy stuff. Yeah, I think I heard this stuff. Airball. My nose is going now. This stuff up. That's something I vacuum up. Boy, you're freaking, whatchamacallit? Gave me hay fever, I think. See that? Yeah. My twisties in here relaxing a little bit. There we go. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I don't know, I'm sweating buckets. Well, you're what you call them at the end of the day. I could have just took the whole piece off and just I'm done, but we didn't do it that way. We took the hard way. Let's do it this way. Getting there, but it's a bit tedious. And maybe I shouldn't have vacuumed. Should have just. And somebody say, why don't you just go buy a new one? I could buy a new one. I could. But I want to learn how to make my own. So that's what I want to do. So I like doing things with my own hands, and I prefer to build than to buy. I got a better rope. This rope is much better than the one that came with. Next time I get the real thick one. I got a real thick one I want to get to also. Really spoon this thing? Alright, we're going to the nitty gritty of it all. At the very end of it, so we don't need to be quitting now. What the heck was that? Oh, that's a smooth thing. Check out the things I do for you. A little bit. I don't know how much you can see that. There we go, yeah. That's the fan of it. That. The rope locks together nice and tightly. Next time when I take it off the stand, it's a little bit easier to do. Really? What are you doing there? Came right up. Oh, that's the box in it. Pretty good. Taco. Yeah. Taco. You want to call it? Wow. Wow. Hey. Easy. Yep, it works. Automatically close anything. But he's trained to go on that same thing. I gotta just pick one, put it in front of it. He's been dying to claw it all day long. He's going to be to do it because it was torn up. So now we had to repair it. Taco's testing it out. Next time we'll get the real thick one. That was a good one. That's a better grade rope than the one I bought it with. Got allowed to really nest those claws in there nicely. Get it, Taco man. Get it, man. There we go. Good. How you feel? Much better? Got that out of your system? There we go. Taco approved. 100% Taco approved. He likes it. So now, no more expensive poles. I paid $7 for that rope. No, I'm sorry. $4 for the rope. $4 for the rope. And if I had bought a brand new one, it'd have cost me like 20, 30 bucks for him. So again, save money. Save some money, you're done. Straight down the rope, but no, the next one we're going to put a nice thick one there. That's what I'm going to do for him next. I think he's going to like that one. I'm going to do a nice combination of a rug. You want a rug? We'll do a rug one. Well, that rope was, I didn't like it. It made me itch. I'm not using that stuff anymore. I wonder if it's wool. I'm allergic to wool. I won't do anything that irritates me. That's basically about all. Alright, where's the vacuum cleaner? It's cleaned up. That's not the place to put it, and I'll never find it. Let's see. Guys are disappearing now. Yep. So that, yeah. That stuff got everywhere. Oh, come here, come bitch. We're couple to that, we're getting back to the same section. It's gonna have to be cleaned. No, that's the microphone. Work on it. There you go. Save some money. Into that, learn something new today. Trying to fix myself on learning something new every day. I just learned how to repair my cat post. Okay. How much money? That would save me how much money I spent on cat posts for this guy. At the name rip one up. I just threw the whole thing in the trash. And I could have just went in and just found the whole thing all over again. Saved some money. For those you want to know, you can buy that rope on Amazon. Or go to Home Depot and get it. That one tightens up pretty nicely. Every time you pull it, it tightens up nice and tight. And as you can see, he was able to go to town on it without basically having it unravel. And I have to use any staples. Because I don't want the staples with screws in there. Especially when he's clawing, wanting to hurt himself. I'll get him tied up nice. Put a couple good knots in it. Tie it real tight to him. So next step, we have to build the ultimate scratching post. What do you think about that? Because you like the carpet too. So he cannot scratch on the carpet. He's not supposed to scratch on the carpet at all, which he doesn't do. So I'm happy about that. He'll just go straight to the pole. See the energy he puts into that pole? Yeah. I've never had to worry about the cat scratching leather sofas up. Nothing. I had a leather sofa in there. He never touched it once. Chairs, nothing. It's just a post. Even though he gets on my nerves from time to time, he does some weird stuff. He's a very well trained cat. I've never had to really train on it to say much him. He's very well trained. Except for the whole bearing thing was the thing. I don't know what's wrong with that, but other than that, yeah, he's a fantastic cat. Don't have to worry about him climbing up on stuff, knocking stuff over. None of that stuff. If I paint something, he walks around it. Yeah, it's perfect. Ain't that right, buddy? Now he's sitting there watching TV. Look, he's happy. Got a scratching post. He's sitting there watching his TV. We got to vacuum out the floor, so I'm doing it next. Well, I'm not going to do it on camera, but vacuum out the floor, get that done, because I got to put the floor aside for the yoga mat. All right, people. When we're done here, I got to take out the trash and move it on out. So much work has to be done. Definitely want to enjoy some coffee before I go. Hope you enjoy. Be safe out there. Try to find Jesus. Gotta go. Thank you for your time and God bless.